So we are going to be watching the GeorgeNotFound response from earlier today. Obviously, this is a response to the Caitibugzz allegations. Caitibugzz being the lovely young woman who decided to leak details of sexual interaction on her Twitch stream, where she spoke about being freshly 18 and going to a Vidcon after party, getting drunk in Dream's hotel room, and then GeorgeNotFound made some escalations, some physical escalations that were not explicitly consensual. She felt awkward about it, got up and left later on. GeorgeNotFound has issued a response. He said he was going to do this. Originally, it was going to be a stream. He decided to break new ground, pioneer a new strategy in the R-word review responses, and he's decided to start up with a live stream. But then transition into a recorded video. So that's cool. That's cool. It aired live. That's pretty epic. Love that. What's the problem? Yeah, I was a bit confused about that initially. Because even the way Caitibugzz tells the story, he didn't really do anything wrong. Because she said that he was essentially filling her up by tickling her under this blanket or something, or under her clothes. She said she'd been flirting all night basically. Then this happens, like late into the night, and then it happens for a few minutes. Then she gets up to get it stopped, and then later on left, and he didn't continue anymore. The moment she actually showed a disinterest, he stopped, even in her own story. But I think George even still has a slightly different recollection of events. So I think we're going to get into that. We get into that. At most, this seemed like a negative experience. It's a escalation that was unwanted. Which, while bad, is something you should probably be able to move on from. It's like, this happens. It's something that happens while you're drunk at parties. Okay? It's not that crazy. It's really not that crazy. And she did this whole short story and poem about it. It was bizarre to watch. Very strange. Anyway, let's watch the GeorgeNotFound stream. We'll skip in. Obviously, he's got this stupid, serious conversation. All that's money turned off. Obviously, he can afford to do this. We can't. So, any super chats, likes, subscriptions, memberships, gifted memberships, all appreciated. As we get into this.
I was originally planning on doing this all live, and that's why I originally tweeted saying that I would be live the day that it happened, but I simply did not feel comfortable doing it live, and needed to make sure that I had all the details in place, and just wanted to make sure it was all perfect as it happened. So today I sat down, talked straight into this camera, laid out all my thoughts, and then essentially just edited out the blank spaces where I was
immediately
thinking.
Immediately, I'm feeling like this guy's gonna get away with it because he's not quite got the same like white boy swag as Wilbur Soot. Really, he's sort of a bit dorkier. He's a bit dweebier. He's not quite schnasty with it, so I feel like he's gonna have an easier time getting away with it. But if he was a bit more swagged out, like this guy's life is already over. But we'll keep watching.
About what to say, and then also added some screenshots for context, and I'm going to be playing that video now. I'm going to be telling the whole story, so it might not seem like everything is completely relevant, but I do need to tell the whole story for it to make sense and to fully inform you guys. So please watch the video in its entirety before forming opinions, as this is very important. Finally, before I play the video,
no one's going to
do not send hate to Katie. That is not the goal of this, and I do not want you guys doing that. So, let's play the video. See you later, guys.
Oh.
Okay, so this is my side of the story of the 2 times that I ever interacted with Caitibugzz in real life. So...
What's this? He's already not liked too much because of how he was during the SMP charity thing or whatever for Technoblade, if my memory is correct. Who? GeorgeNotFound or Wilbur Soot? Which one are we talking about here?
So the first time that I met her, it was in Dream's hotel room at Vidcon. To give context about Dream's hotel room, essentially
It was fuck charity, dude.
a bigger room
fuck
than
that
average.
shit.
It's not just a bed in a room like a typical hotel room is. Essentially, it's there was a living room, there was a table, and the bedroom was kind of separated from it. And for this reason, we used his hotel room essentially as a place where all of our friends could hang out in. Vidcon is a 4-day long event, so we actually used it quite frequently throughout these 4 days. And we had creators, friends in and out of this room throughout the whole event. Now, the first night that I actually met Katie, I was with Dream in his hotel room, and Dream was in a group chat with 5 other people. These 5 people included Caitibugzz, her best friend, and 3 other of her friends. Now, these 5 people, they were at an official VidCon after party, and they wanted Dream to go meet up with them and hang out with them. But Dream actually didn't want to hang out with them, and the reason is because at the time...
Oh, Dream don't know you, sis. Dream don't know you. Dream don't know you. Dream didn't want to hang out with you. He was in the mask. That's what's going on here. He was in the mask. He was feeling socially anxious.
He was wearing his Dream mask a lot, and
okay.
he felt uncomfortable wearing it because it's the whole mask on your face. So he just didn't want to go to the party particularly. He even suggested that they shouldn't come because he was assuming that they were having more fun where they were. They reassured him that that wasn't the case. They were bored and they wanted him to come. So now these 5 people are trying to come to the hotel, but the problem with that is to get into the hotel, you need to have a VidCon creator badge. And only 2 of the people in the group chat actually had this badge. That was Katie and her best friend. So eventually what happened is Katie and 2 of her other friends came to Dream's hotel room. This was my first time actually meeting them in real life. I didn't even know who they were before meeting them. And then we essentially just were playing drinking games in the hotel room. We were just having fun, talking with each other. Nothing crazy in particular. Now, one thing Katie said retrospectively, looking back at the scenario, is that I was flooded.
His room? Oh, it's a studio, isn't it? He records in here. He needs to have good audio. He needs to have good sound insulation, acoustics. What's the problem? Why are you hating? Why are you hating on a hustler? Why are you hating on a hustler? He's just out here trying to have the best content possible. He out here trying to make a good product, and you hating. Doesn't he do like VR videos and shit? He probably needs like empty space to freely move around in. What's wrong with that? He's got his Guinness World Record there. Have you got a Guinness World Record in your office, goofy air?
With her throughout
Stop hating on the white boy.
Comfortable with this because of our age difference. At the time, she was 18 and I was 26. She actually assumed I didn't know her age because she had never said it. But then
it's not easy being a pimp.
DM'd her on Instagram.
Pimping ain't easy.
And because of this, she says that it is confirmed that I know her age. To give some context to this scenario and to why I didn't know her age, my perspective of things is that...
Okay, listen. Listen. He can say he didn't know her age. That's fine. Totally fine. Whatever. She looks young. She looks young. She looks young. Like, come on, dude. It's fine. It's fine. You know her age. She looks really young.
People that are over the age of 21 in a scenario.
Okay, I mean, well,
we are doing things that people that are over the age of 21 are doing, like drinking, and also the.
I mean, that's not really
from an event.
That's not a great reason. That's not a great reason.
Where they had very heavy security. This was
the
VidCon after party.
Yeah.
And with previous VidCon after parties, I even had problems getting into these events. There was one.
So yeah, these are obviously, if it's an after party, there's going to be alcohol served there. You're going to need to be 21 to get in, I would assume, right? There's no way that you two are going to run an event themselves where there are under 21s getting in. Though obviously they did. Obviously they did in this case. But generally, they shouldn't, right?
They didn't let me in because
that's gonna be the policy.
Confirm the legitimacy of my UK ID. They said they weren't trained to look at foreign IDs, so they.
Dude, I would 100% get raped on this if I went to America. I get ID'd. It's like non-stop. Oh, man. I'm having like a trauma response preemptively. Jesus.
Despite me being 26 at the time. And also since Katie's stream, I've gone back and reviewed texts from the time, and there was actually a picture where it was shown that they had this 21 plus wristband on one of their wrists. So
I'd
from my
get raped if
perspective,
I went to America.
it's a bunch of 21 plus year olds hanging out. I have no reason to think otherwise, other than her Instagram bio, but I just didn't see it. But anyway, nothing actually particularly happened at this first night that we were hanging out. Everything was very friendly. We went our separate ways, and that's the end of the first night. And then the second time that we hung out was the next night after this. So we wake up the next day, we do VidCon stuff. After we're done, that's the final day of VidCon. So VidCon is now technically over, but we have one more night in the hotel before we need to leave the next morning. And actually at this point, I actually had a friend that I had only known online meet up with me for the first time. And the whole time I'd known him, he lived in a different country. He was actually living in Japan. And I had told him I was going to VidCon, and he actually just happened to be in California at the same date, so the dates aligned, and we made plans to meet up. Now, he arrived early evening, I think it was around 5-6 p.m. We were just hanging out in my room. Dream messaged me, "I'm bored. Can you come to my room? Let's hang out," essentially. That's what we did.
He has this guy saved in his phone as Dream. He has... Don't these guys, like, live with each other or some shit? He has this guy saved in his phone as Dream. With his branded profile picture. Okay, dude.
Met physically. I mean, I knew him online. Went up to Dream's room, and we were hanging out. And again, the same scenario happens from the night before. They are trying to get him to go out to another party that they were at. And same story. Dream didn't want to go, but was open to them coming here. And again, that is what happened. But this time, their friends were actually all able to get in. I don't know how they did it, but Katie, her best friend, and 3 other of her friends ended up coming to the room, which had me, Dream, and my online friend that I just met. So 8 people total in this room at this point. This night was very similar to the one before. We were just hanging out, playing games, drinking, and just having a good time. So something I actually want to point out before I continue with the rest of the story is the way that she phrases some things in her story. Instead of saying that her and the rest of her friends actually wanted to come to the hotel to hang out with us, she said that one friend was invited by Dream, but she didn't want to go alone. So then they decided to go along with her because they were willing to go anywhere. I just think...
you can't... Yeah. That's obvious bullshit. Come on, now. You were desperate. They were desperate to meet Dream. They were like, "Oh, please, I need to go to Dream's hotel room. We need to get into Dream." You know they were desperate. You know they wanted to get into Dream's hotel room. You know they wanted to see him without the mask on. Dude, that mask's on copyright? I think it's just so funny. I just love it so much. It's like it's a full-grown man making that song. It's just crazy to me.
It's important to note already that the story is slightly different from the reality of it, and I'll be
play the gay
this
version
a few more times throughout the rest of the story.
What's the gay version?
You can see in these screenshots from the text at the time that they were all trying to come to the hotel, and it wasn't just oh, we're willing to follow her, essentially. They were all in the group chat and part of the discussion to go to the hotel. I also chose to mention my online friend. It doesn't really add to the story, but she never mentioned him or the 8th person that she brought with. So I'm just saying it because that's how it happened, and I want to make sure the story is straight. Another thing that she talks about is how we insisted that she drinks more and that we insisted on playing drinking games when this isn't the case.
Those texts are... Yeah, we should probably stop and read the texts.
Willing to go anywhere. I just think it's important.
Could you borrow a pass or 2? Yes, just got one. Without try and get one for blank on a mission.
Important to note already that the story is slightly different from...
We'll keep you updated if they remove the barriers. Clay, I need to piss. So that's Dream, isn't it? Dream is Clay. That's his name. Clay, I need to piss so bad. So whatever we're doing, we got a speeder on it. Might be easier for us to get them in. Yeah, it'll be quick.
The reality of it. And I'll be mentioning this a few more times.
Me, blank, and Katie coming back to here.
Throughout
is that Dream's hotel room?
The rest of the story. You can see in these screenshots from the text.
13 min. A guy is speeding. Lamau. You guys are going to the parking lot or where? We need to discreetly give blank a pass. Moving on, my guys come meet and give her a pass. Wait, are they getting passes for... Where are these passes for? Are these for the hotel? So no one notices her. Wait, so is this incriminating himself? Is this incriminating himself as helping kids get drinks? Because discreetly giving them a pass. Why are you discreetly giving them a pass? Why does it have to be discreet? Oh, oh. A Vidcon pass to get into the hotel, but weren't they all at Vidcon? Wait, sorry, have I missed? There must be something in these details that I'm missing where this makes sense.
We were just...
He said only some of them had a
out,
pass, right?
Playing games, drinking, and just having a good time. So something I actually want to point out before I continue with the rest of the story is the way that she phrases some things in her story. Instead of saying that her and the rest of her friends actually wanted to come to the hotel to hang out with us, she said that one friend was invited by Dream, but she didn't want to go alone. So then they decided to go along with her because they were willing to go anywhere. I just think it's important to note already that the story is slightly different from the reality of it, and I'll be mentioning this a few more times throughout the rest of the story. You can see in these screenshots.
Right, okay, so there's the third friend did not have a Vidcon pass, so could not get into the hotel without one. So they had to go and slip this friend a Vidcon pass to help her get it. Okay,
willing to follow her, essentially. They were all in the group chat and part of the discussion to go to the hotel. I also chose to mention my online friend. It doesn't really add to the story, but she never mentioned him or the 8th person that she brought with. So I'm just saying it because that's how it happened, and I want to make sure the story is straight. Another thing that she talks about is how we insisted that she drinks more and that we insisted on playing drinking games when this isn't the case. Again, they had already been drinking at this party before they arrived to the hotel room, and they had also been the ones that were asking to play the drinking games. So instead...
Yeah, the most unbelievable part of this story is that someone over 25 is playing drinking games. It was the 18-year-old's idea. It was not. Let's be real. Let's be real here. It was the 18-year-old's idea. Let's be real. Anyone that believes 26-year-olds are out here saying that let's play drinking games, let's play beer pong, you're tripping. You are tripping. It just didn't happen. Why even bother? If you're going to try and get an 18-year-old... Man, I can just say so much insane shit. If you try to get an 18-year-old drunk, why would you bother with any of that, right? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You don't need to mix it up into a game. It's just not that complicated. Yo, look, I was playing beer pong at 25, but I was a real late bloomer to partying law. That's sad. Well, exactly would an 18-year-old get out of an alcohol-fueled party, after party, if hooking up with someone is categorically off the table? Hop back on Minecraft, little ninja. True. Damn. Spinning? Well, I guess, her claim is basically just that she went with her friends, right? That she wanted to make sure her friends were safe from hooking up with anyone at the alcohol-fueled after party.
Instead of us insisting that we play it, they were actually the ones that were asking us. And you can see that in the screenshots here. They had actually texted multiple times, specifically wanting to play this drinking game that we had played.
Oh my god. Oh, and it's one of these gay little games as well. It's like it's not like beer pong or something like that. It's one of these. Oh, learn about your friends. Pass the phone around and ask each other questions and learn about each other. Tell everyone that you're a virgin, so that it introduces sexuality into the conversation through one of these questions, so that it can become an opportunity for someone to use that to make a move. Yeah, yeah, I know the type of games you mean. Yeah, yeah, these ones that they were begging to play. Yep.
The night before. And at this point, I was pretty drunk, and so was basically everyone in this room.
Help me score app. Literally, dude, it's like it's a wheelchair for Riz. People are Riz disabled.
Last night at VidCon. VidCon's a pretty stressful time, and honestly, a lot of people are happy when it's over. Not that they didn't like it, but it's just a stressful event. There's a lot that you have to do, and when it's over, you're just happy and you want to.
And the women.
So at this
point, women, because they are also
a couch in the room, and I sit next to Katie. She also says, looking back on the scenario, that she confused her nerves for excitement when I sit next to her. But again,
let's play
at this
sex
moment
soon,
in time, everything was friendly. Nothing sexual happened. I'm just literally sitting next to her on the couch. And during this, she was laughing.
Listen, you laugh about VidCon stressful time, but I imagine it probably is for like big creators, right? These like 10 million sub guys. They're probably just there to like network and talk to like people who like run businesses and shit that are doing expo shit there. And then anytime they're in public places, it's probably a bunch of F-Sly Child fans just swarming them. One of the key things in these apps, by the way, is tickling. It tells you to tickle in all of them. Is that a thing in all of them? I'll be honest. I am a party pooper. Anytime the drinking games start being played, I basically check out of the conversation entirely.
Smiling. She gave no indication that she was uncomfortable with me sitting this close to her. She also mentions that she was thinking about my age and that I was a lot older than her. Again, she was 18 and I was 26 at the time. And again, to clarify, I actually didn't know how old she was, despite her claiming that I did, just because it was in her bio. And it was clear to anyone there that she was not uncomfortable with me sitting next to her. Then eventually 2 of the people that came to the hotel room left. So then it was just down to me, Dream, my online friend, Katie, Katie's best friend, and a 6th mutual friend. Next, she says, this is a quote, resorted to playing games on her phone to avoid the awkward situation. Now, I just don't see how this is the case.
Oh, she was just so she just hated the fact she was in the hotel room with Dream. She just hated being in Dream's hotel room with GeorgeNotFound, sitting there playing drinking games where they tell each other about how many times they've had sex and what their favorite fetish is and all this sort of shit that's probably on these fucking drinking games. Oh, she just hated being there. She just hated being there so much. She was trying to disappear. She was trying to click her heels 3 times and vanish back home. She just hated being there so much. That was the worst way VidCon could have gone, is her ending up inebriated in Dream's hotel room, surrounded by inebriated 10 million sub YouTubers. That's like the worst outcome. That's like the worst outcome. Couldn't have gone worse.
She is using her phone to essentially escape, such an awkward scenario that she's in. But that's just not how it happened. And this is why. She brought up the phone game as kind of a point. The game was honestly...
Well, you didn't realize people use these things? I've seen people use these things at parties. I've seen it. I mean, it's... Yeah. It's like, it is very, it comes off very juvenile, doesn't it? I don't know. maybe I'm just boring. Maybe I'm just an F-slur. But it's really gay. It's really gay. It's really gay.
Honestly, the central point of the interaction at this part of the night. It was a very social thing. She was passing the phone around. We were all playing the game and bantering about it, just having fun with the game. So I don't see how she resorted to it and was using it in that context. She wasn't being awkward at all. There was no sense of uncomfortability from her. She was laughing and playing with everyone.
Does he have some type of palsy? The sitting position looks really weird. I don't know. Is it the sitting position or is it that his shirt's just ill fitting?
And yeah, I'm not really sure why.
Is his neck actually crooked?
We actually
Crooked?
continue to send each other high score updates even weeks after the event. To add further context.
Oh, yeah, he did. He was sitting mad weird there too, look.
I'm not really sure why she phrased it like this. We actually continue to send each other high score updates even.
Look at him, he's lurching. I'm a bit of a lurcher too, though. I'm lurching right now. But he's lurching.
She was laughing and playing with everyone. And yeah, I'm not really sure why she phrased it like this. We actually continue to send each other high score updates even weeks after the event. To add further context to this moment, we were all actually sitting on the couch that was in the hotel room playing this game on her phone. And during this,
it's a cryptid sighting video. Wait, what was that? Is that okay? That's so. What? This is some fucking retarded. I don't know, jumping on the platforms game that she was playing, and she's sending it the next day, or when he's on the plane, whenever. Like literally, yeah. So the idea this was something that was like so horrific. She was trying to escape into the game on her phone. And he just wouldn't stop touching her. And then he made a game out of torturing her. So why the fuck are you sending screenshots, making like a playful callback to it the next day? Doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense.
Sitting on the couch that was in the hotel room, playing this game on her phone. And during this, me and Katie were at the far end of the couch and we were cuddling together. We had been cuddling for, I'd say, around an hour at this point. Playing the game, talking, and just having fun. And for clarity, I had my hand around her waist above her clothes. So with her statement where she's saying that she's resorting to playing games on her phone, I just don't really understand it. And I think that the picture that she's painting is really dark, when in reality she seemed very happy with the situation, was having a good time. I also want to address a fact that she claimed that would confirm that I know her age. She said that she had answered a question about her age during a drinking game, and we were talking about sex, and that she admitted to everyone in the room that she was 18 and a virgin at the time. I just don't remember.
100% this was on this fucking game.
Not
100%
to just pretend like it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I didn't.
So yeah, so legit, this guy missed one round of this game, and that's meant to be evidence that he's grooming her. Crazy, just craziness. People just jumped on killing this guy. By the way, Amesy was like immediately stomping on his corpse. Immediately stomping on his corpse.
It happened. We're not just all sitting down and not moving. It's a, it's a chaotic environment. I could have been getting a drink. I could have been talking to someone else. I just
bro was not listening to your gay answer to this stupid fucking question. Sorry he wasn't hanging off your every word. 10 million Minecraft YouTuber probably had other offers all night, dude. Not gonna lie. They want to lynch this man. Not as bad as Wilbur Soot. Not as bad as Wilbur. Wilbur is getting it worse. Okay? And we will talk about that. Okay? Because that's fucked. That's fucked. All of a sudden, everyone's okay with this guy. Dream defended this guy, but not Wilbur. But not Wilbur. It's crazy. It's totally fucked. Not to mention probably his attention span of 6. Dude, this Wyatt is fucking annoying. The fake Tubbo accusations were funny AF. Yeah, we'll look at that as well.
Know that was said. Another quote from her stream I want to address. She says, "There was more alcohol in the room and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us. They said they would join us in drinking and insisted on drinking games. They had already been drinking before they arrived."
But it's just so ill, right? Like you're saying, they all clearly had personal ideas of capitalizing off of owning him. One of them managed to score over 1 million followers. Just very convenient, yeah. But they'll never be called out for it. It's just crazy that these audiences totally eat it up. Like, you can literally just sit there and just repeat soy lib shit talking points about, like, believe women, believe victims, why would anyone make this shit up? You know, all that. And they can just repeat that endlessly. But then they will never, no matter how many times they help ruin some guy's life for nothing, they will never, ever have to answer for the fact they've been wrong. and people just still accept that they genuinely mean that shit.
They were drunk, and the way this is phrased, it makes us out to look like we're kind of preying on them.
The thing is that this is just such an unremarkable interaction for anyone that's not a homeschooled spurg. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. These people are just so disconnected. It's so disconnected. It's totally fucked. Yeah, let's take this back because I think I missed what he was saying here.
Did not know that was said. Another quote from her stream I want to address. She says, "There was more alcohol in the room and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us. They said they would join us in drinking and insisted on drinking games. They had already been drinking before they arrived.
It is essential to be gay if you don't get too mad in 2024.
Makes us out to look like we're kind of preying on them and like forcing them to drink when they didn't want to, when that's not the case. And as I mentioned earlier, they were even the ones asking to play the drinking games via the texts before they had even arrived." So then this is when her most important claim happens. I'm just going to read the quote. She says, "Out of nowhere, I felt him slip his hand under my clothes, sitting next to me on the couch in front."
I love that phrasing as well. Even their own story, out of nowhere. No, out of the two. It's after 2 nights of flirting, 2 nights of flirting in a row. It's not out of nowhere. There has been a constant escalation. At no point have you communicated that you weren't interested.
In front of everyone. He disguised it with a simple, "Are you ticklish?" I coughed out a no, and still staring at my phone, I was overly aware of the fact that we were in front of other people. The fact that everyone else was sitting around us, watching us, including my best friend, and that his hand was inching further to places I hadn't asked it to be. Again, as I mentioned before, we had previously been cuddling on this couch for around an hour, but I did place my hand on her waist under her shirt. The way it's phrased makes it sound like it just happened out of nowhere, when in reality we'd been cuddling for over an hour at this point, and it was not out of nowhere.
So it's not even just
around half an hour.
Yeah, so then from his point of view, it's not even just 2 nights of flirting. It's that in the moment they were literally like cuddling on this sofa. Like that is not out of nowhere. If you're in that situation, it's like you gotta be expressing some disinterest some point in that hour of cuddling before he starts putting his hands on you. He probably waited maybe even too long for some people's taste in that case, right?
Hour until I started moving my hand further up, and the way it's phrased just makes it seem like it happened pretty.
Oh, thank you for the Chud raid. Thank you. We're just covering the GeorgeNotFound allegations. Thank you.
It was very slow, and I was very cautious about it and making sure that she was comfortable throughout the process. Me and Katie were very touchy, very cuddly, and very slowly got more intimate. I've always been overly cautious with consent, and this is not just because I'm a creator. I've been like this since before I was a creator, and I think
dude. Okay, he's losing me a bit on the first of all I didn't know she was 18. It's like, yeah, sure, you assumed she was 21 or over because she was drinking and at the YouTube after party. Sure. However, she does look incredibly fucking young. And then this as well. This is like so gay. It's like, oh, I'm actually overly cautious. I'm actually really cautious with consent. I make sure women know 3 business days in advance that we're having sex, whether they like it or not. You know, that whole speech is just, please, holy fuck.
Just the way I am and just the way it should be. Nothing came out of nowhere. Everything progressed very slowly throughout the night. And also, before I continue, I want to make it clear that the furthest anything ever got was under the shirt touching and cuddling. Now, obviously, people don't typically ask if everything is okay.
I seek out consent.
Touching someone's waist under their shirt before they do it. But in this case, I was extremely slow, and she was engaging with me the entire time, laughing, cuddling with me, and even playfully fighting me for the game that we were playing. Again, the quote that she said, he disguised it with a simple, "Are you ticklish?" I coughed out a no. She's implying that it's with malicious intent, and that she coughed out a no would also imply that I should be able to tell that she was uncomfortable with it. She says...
Yeah, what are the lines like that? Consent turns me on. I've only ever been into older women. What other great cope lines like that are there?
A game out of my embarrassment, where he would touch me in certain areas to make me lose the game I was playing. Now, I actually remember this quite vividly. I remember she was playing the game, and there were parts where it would be very easy to lose if you were distracted. And she's right, I did do that. there were points where she was playing the game and she was at a point where it was easy for her to mess up, and I would, for example, tickle her or like squeeze her.
She was totally
And
blindsided. It was only
when I
3
did
hours
this,
of
she would
ceaseless
laugh, she would
contact.
turn around and smile at me, or she would play fight with me because I had just made her lose the game. She also says how, quote, I didn't speak or move.
I love this. It's a party, and like every social interaction we've heard about in this party has been facilitated by a phone. We're playing the drinking game on the phone where we go around and have icebreakers and conversations. Oh, I'm playing Doodle Jump on my phone and he's grabbing my fucking ass and making me lose it. It's like, this is so ill. This is so deeply unwell. These people are fucked, dude. No wonder they think they're getting raped every 5 seconds. Let's put the phone away, guys. So crazy.
Afraid to even breathe. I stayed there for a while, hoping my stillness could make me disappear. Now, to reiterate, anytime that I did this, it was met with her either smiling, laughing, play fighting with me, and there was no reason for me to believe that she was uncomfortable with it. She was not moving. She was not speaking. Of course, I don't believe that silence is consent. I just want to make sure that it is abundantly clear. She was visibly and physically responding well to everything that we were doing. I also want to comment on how she said that she had to stand up after many minutes for it to stop. She did get up multiple times.
Yeah, I also hate this. Alex Barlow. I hate this mentality as well. The same thing happened in Super Mega, right? People were Matt and whatever it was. What's the other guy's name? Matt and Ryan, is it? They, in their responses, they're sitting like, oh, you know, Addy. They're like, oh, we don't think Lex truly hates us. You know, we're not trying to say Lex was doing anything malicious. We think she's just been manipulated by these people. Addy, listen, I'm sorry, man. Okay. I wish we could be friends again. I wish we could. I haven't sold out. I saw you put up a video saying I've sold out. I haven't sold out to Destiny. That's not true. Did you not see me on Kick or Keep? Even when I went on Kick or Keep, I didn't sell out. Even on Kick or Keep, I was making fun of the Bridges podcast. Come on, dude. You have. Look at that smile, demonic. I'm happy to see you. Okay. Okay, dude. That's not true. That's not true, Addy. Facts, yeah, we'll see soon. Okay.
Throughout the night, for example,
Oh,
to the
man.
bathroom to get a drink. Also, when her friends left, she got up to say goodbye to them, and she would come back to the same scenario. I also just want to point out that her best friend was here during this whole process, then afterwards did leave. And I think it is important to note that she made the choice to stay behind for many hours more. And as I mentioned before, she did get up, say goodbye to them, and came back. We were even talking about staying up to wait until 11 a.m., which was the checkout time of the hotel. Since it was the final day, we were like, oh, I don't know if we want to go to sleep for a few hours, might as well just stay up. But that's not what ended up happening. And it's at this time that Katie says that, this is a quote, I went to leave and the older guy then decided to leave too. This is phrased in a way that makes me look kind of creepy, to be honest. She's basically saying she left, so I decided to leave too, which is not the case. What actually happened is Dream had decided he was too tired and was going to bed. So the night was over and we all left. She then goes on to tell a story about the elevator and how I joked about it being broken to try get her to go in with me. So Katie actually had her own hotel room on the same floor as Dream. So she actually didn't have to take the elevator. She walked me to the elevator when she didn't have to and said goodnight to
Pretty
me.
boy models grew up, it's litty, yeah.
I did joke with her about coming in the elevator by pretending that it was broken. I went into the elevator, the doors closed, and I would press the doors open button to make it open again. I did this a few times.
Dude, chat is a mess. We might have to start stopping auto counts, you know.
I respectfully took, obviously. and ended
It's
up
a bit
just
much.
going down to my room. So yeah, she didn't have to take the elevator, yet she chose to walk with me to the elevator to say goodnight to me, which I
Neither
think
are the real food
is
shops.
interesting given how she's saying how she was so upset with her. But also, I think these comments are her looking back on the night and not her actually.
Okay, well, let me go back because I'm
good
just
night
too
to me,
distracted
which
with
was nice of her.
retardation in
I
chat.
did joke with her about coming in the elevator by pretending that it was broken. I went into the elevator, the doors closed, and I would press the doors open button to make it open again. I did this a few times, and she didn't go along with it, which I respectfully took, obviously, and ended up just going down.
I mean, it's kind of a cringe. It's kind of cringe, isn't it? It's a little bit cringe flirting, but I mean, it's fine. I don't think that's really a problem. But it's very cringe. Very embarrassing.
So yeah, she didn't have to take the elevator, yet she chose to walk with me to the elevator.
It does lend to his story, though, is when it's taking a bit of an optics.
Is interesting given how she's saying
Optics L there.
She was so upset with her. But also, I think these comments are her looking back on the night and not her actual feelings at the time. And that's essentially the end of the story.
You can't talk like that, please.
The last time
I'm
I've seen her in
person talk about
person
killing, please.
just as those elevator doors closed. We messaged for a bit after, through Instagram DMs and Snapchat. And the way that we talked to each other was always pretty banterous. For example, after the first night that we hung out, but before the second, she'd actually texted me and said, "You better not be in Dream's room tonight or I'm going to shoot your leg." Obviously, she's not going to shoot my leg. It's just, we're just messing with each other. And I'd actually responded to her and said, "Well, guess what? I'm actually here right now." And yeah, after this, we texted for a bit, sometimes daily, sometimes we would take a few days break, even a few weeks at some point. And at some point after VidCon, we were actually both in London at the same time. And she let me know this through her DMs. Now, I will say she didn't come out outright and say, "I'm in London." But she did say that she had gone to a place that was known to be a London thing. And I commented on that and said, and asked what she was doing in London. And just to clarify, we did not meet up.
So, wait, let's read these. Let's read these. You can't say dickhead. That's for English people to say. I just drank at Spoons last night. Oh, I'd say I'm British enough. Oh shit, maybe you are British. WTF, you are British. WTF. Well, I drank at Simmons Bar last night, and you probably don't even know what that is. So you're less British than me. Oh, he's rizzing. He's rizzing. He's trying to rizz. What are you doing in England? He is rizzing hard. Rue said Simmons Bar was gay, so awkward. Wait, she should lose her career over this, shouldn't she? Is this a homophobic joke? A homophobic remark in the DMs? And I'm living life the British way. Partying, clubbing, etc. Using gay as an insult. Typical from... stupid business like you. That is... whoa. Whoa, I can't believe she used gay as an insult. That's sickening. I can't believe that. That's worse than anything he was accused of doing, frankly.
Nor make plans to do so. She was always extremely friendly to me. I was friendly to her. And honestly, I was very shocked to hear her say the things that she did say during her stream. When I first opened up her stream, it was after she'd already streamed it, but not long after. So people hadn't yet made the connection that it was relating to me. And when watching it, I was like, I was actually interested. I was thinking, okay, what's this going to be about? And then when she started saying more and more details, I realized, wait, this is about me. I was very confused, very shocked, and didn't quite know what to think, given I had no impression of any wrongdoing throughout this whole relationship that I had with her. None at all. Like, it was, if anything, it was the opposite. I thought we had a pretty good relationship, despite the fact that we actually hadn't talked in a while. I thought if I had seen her in real life again, everything would be fine and we would be friends. It was actually around this point, after VidCon had finished and we were messaging, that I found out her age. And I
mean, unless she's got some crazy, like, to me, unless she's got some crazy evidence to come back with. I mean, because here's the thing, right? The thing she alleged wasn't even worth him losing anything over. So, he didn't even need to exonerate himself. But, I mean, this just makes her look horrific. Like, she should be, you know. She should not be here. She should not be in the Minecraft. She should not be in the Minecraft community. That's what I'm talking about, by the way. That's what I meant by that. By she should not be here. She should not be in the Minecraft community, of which I'm a major part. Dude, it's just too funny in chat. I need to focus, dude. Okay, stop, come on. Stop on that. That's too much.
Since then, I never pursued anything going forward, and I essentially stopped messaging her. Her last message to me was August 1st, 2023, and I haven't replied to her since then. After I watched her stream, I was pretty confused. I didn't understand how her account of the story had been so different from what actually happened. A lot of the facts that she said just didn't happen at all, or were phrased in ways that just make me look as bad as possible. Saying things like, I insisted on her playing drinking games, or that she was frozen in place, or that she was scared. She was having fun, she was enjoying herself, she was showing this with her body language, with the way that she smiled, the way that she laughed, and just her overall general demeanor. Now, one thing that I think is very important to differentiate here is that I do believe that she regrets being affectionate with me, and that really does make me feel terrible. I never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or regret their interactions with me or anything along those lines, regardless of if it's sexual or not. And I am truly really sorry if I contributed.
I mean, it feels like we're kind of done with this.
What's important to differentiate is that she was uncomfortable with this after the fact.
Let's speed through the last bit here. I don't find as much more information.
At the time of it all, I convinced myself I was lucky. I was lucky that it had happened to me. I was excited to be around such big creators, to be at that convention in general. Now, actually, I've had a similar scenario to this where I was in I had a sexual experience with someone where in the moment I was perfectly happy with it happening, but then afterwards I regretted it. And I'm not saying this to get any form of sympathy. I'm not looking for that. That is not the case at all. I'm simply saying this because I can see the similarities in the situation. Now, I'm not mad at the person that I was in this sexual experience with at all. I have no negative thoughts on them. I simply did not like how it ended up, and if I could go back and not do it, I wouldn't have. I wanted to do it in the moment, but then changed my mind.
Oh, he didn't want to fuck you. He didn't want to fuck you. He kind of didn't want to fuck you. He kind of wasn't that into you. He wasn't into you. Oh, sorry, sis. Sorry, sis.
Completely valid. You're completely allowed to feel that way. But what isn't okay, and I think is just completely unfair, is to act as if I am the bad person in the scenario because you changed your mind later. I also want to separate this from abuse and certain scenarios that other people have dealt with recently, or just in general. I think it's completely fine to come to terms with your abuse over time and realize that it was bad for you and a terrible situation to be in, and to then look badly back on that person. That is completely valid, but this is different. Again, this all happened within a 4-hour period, 3-4-hour period, and I was not given any sign of discomfort, unhappiness, or anything along those lines. And again, it was the opposite of that. She was happy, she was laughing, she was smiling, and as far as I know, everyone else in the room would have thought the same at the time. So now what I'm thinking is, why would she come out and say it like this? Why is she saying this?
Because she's a false essay alligator.
Or trying to hurt me, or ruin my career.
These procedural generated art hoes are just, they're alligators chomping at the bit to fucking devour you, and they will take any opportunity they can to snap their big old jaws down on you. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. It's rough out there for Minecraft eunuchs. It really is.
I do think is that she is surrounded by a friend group that completely despises me and my friend group. And this is quite a specific scenario that probably doesn't really happen that much, especially publicly. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to talk about it. But I think after VidCon, she obviously had told some of her friends about what happened. Whether or not that was in a negative connotation, I do not know. I wasn't part of these conversations, of course. But she fully told them about this scenario. Now, when these people that are around you all completely despise me and my friends, they're obviously going to look on this poorly. To add context to this, she actually mentions in her stream, I will just quote it. She says, "I remember a friend seeing me in the lobby on the way, and they were worried by the way I was acting and asked if I was okay. I was really drunk, and it was an eerie feeling like they could sense something was wrong." Now, this person is in Katie's friend group, and they were concerned that a group of 5 people were going up to drink.
Yeah, so I caught Chud talking about this with lyrics. This idea that apparently there's bad blood. There's a gang war. There's bad blood between the American Minecraft YouTubers and the British Minecraft YouTubers. And so Chud thinks that that's the reason for all of the allegations getting fired off left and right, and all the piling on that's been happening, where they see an opportunity to bury a gang member from the opposing gang, and they just go for it.
Room to join 3 additional people, which is an interesting concern to have. I actually have heard from another source that overheard this conversation and thought it was quite strange that she was worried about this. I think it seems very likely that after 8 months of you being around friends that hate me and my friends and constantly talking badly about us publicly as well, and privately, I don't know what they say privately, but can't be any better than what they say publicly.
I like how he's got this defense for himself, but none of this for Wilbur Soot. Wilbur Soot doesn't get any of this. He doesn't get any of this. That's it's just wild. It's just it's crazy how bad Wilbur got done, honestly. I'm trying to adjust my audio levels quickly, so tell me if shit's wrong, okay? Hopefully I should be fine, I think. Or there, maybe. I should be fine.
Obviously, that is going to affect the way that you view the experience. And it's going to make you look at it differently. You're going to second guess it. You're going to be thinking about it. And clearly, it changed the way that she thought about it. And I just think it's completely unfair to judge me and my actions based on how you feel about it now, 8 months later, versus how you felt at the time. Because at the time, you were not uncomfortable with it. And I know I'm repeating myself a million times, but I have to. You were smiling, happy, laughing, playing along with it, everything. And that's all I really have to say on the matter. Still keep supporting victims.
Oh my god. Support victims, guys. That's epic. That's freaking epic. We out here supporting victims, for real, for real. Kill me. Okay. Right. So that's the first Minecraft are done. Even the original allegation had nothing that was worth this guy losing literally anything over. He just, at worst, it was a sexual escalation that was unwanted, denied, and then never pursued again. However, it doesn't even seem like it was that. So, cool. That's freaking epic. I love Twitter and Minecraft YouTubers and Zoomers and their horrific, disconnected attitude towards this stuff. It's great how they just try and kill each other and ruin each other's careers all the time. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. So Caitibugzz replied as well. So she did a quote tweet here. We are waiting. Pull whatever you can find. I also screen recorded everything. I planned on using it to support my case if needed, but please share it on my behalf if you'd like. Because we both know what happened. That's why I can sleep at night without scrambling for screenshots to try and twist. That's why you're scared. Because me and every other creator know the truth, and you do too. That's something you have to live with. Yes, I was naive, but I have room to change, to grow up. 8 years exactly, and when I'm your age, I'll be 10 times the person you are. And you'll always be the 27-year-old, still acting like a child. I'm not scared of you anymore. I've been waiting so long to say this, but you're a fucking coward. Goodbye for now. This is horrific. Like, what you're alleging isn't even that bad. So, like, you're sitting there going, I'm not scared of you anymore. Like, you've conquered some, like, major slight against you when all this guy did was, at worst, make an advance to you at a party that was unreciprocated after hours of flirting. So just honestly get over yourself. Seriously, get the fuck over yourself. Like, what is this? And then we got this one as well. This is in our Discord, as you can see from the fact it's a Discord screenshot. I've been seeing your messages on Insta, Twitter, and especially here. The loveliest people. I want to remind you all to stay safe and don't stand up for me if it means putting yourselves at risk. I need to get off the internet, as all my friends are far away. I've been alone scrolling, but I have so much to say. So much I wish I could say, but I'm trying to wait until all is said to state my piece. It's the wrong piece. Although I don't think I can stand another second of waiting and watching and waiting more. But most importantly, I'm not scared anymore. I've seen what you have all gone through, and I'll continue to fight for you, for everyone scared in silence, not believed, and those who want something they can't take back. I love you all. At here. Yeah, this is just horrendous. I just think she's like literally like a martyr. Like, she's dying, she's taking some crazy hit, she's making a stand for victims. Like, for fucking seriously, get over it. It's so embarrassing, dude. Imagine posting this shit over some false alligating you did on some white boy. You're trying to tear down a white boy and you think you're a fucking hero. The at here being 20 minutes after is not enough engagement. Yeah, oh man, it is 20 minutes after. That's embarrassing. 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 Dream's response to the George Not Found situation? George, Dream, Tubbo. I'm fucking losing it, dude. He's written a fucking essay too. Dude, what is this guy's problem? We get it, Dream. Your friend didn't rape. Your friend didn't rape and everyone else did. We get it, dude. I just wrote your article for you, bro. Alright. So let's read Dream's Reddit effort post about the George Not Found stream. My honest and open point of view. Based on hearing both recounts of stories, being there myself, and talking to everyone that was there afterwards, George's recounting of events is much closer to what actually took place. Okay, so yeah, my friend didn't, but everyone else did. That's okay, cool Dream. Cool Dream. Thank you. Well, except the first sentence, you can stop talking now, but you carry on. I think people expressing that someone did not consent to touching or cuddling because they did not verbally speak it is extremely dishonest. You can clearly consent without verbally, specifically saying something. Gee, this is a... Whoa. This is a brave take in the Minecraft community, no? Dream's standing on business here. Okay. We're letting Dream cook here. Alright? You can clearly consent without verbally, specifically saying something, just as you can nod your head to say yes. Silence is not consent, but I was there, and although I did not know that any sexual touching had taken place, I can say for a matter of fact that interactions were extremely positive throughout the night, and she had many opportunities of separation, even getting up and down off the couch and laying back down with him after the alleged sexual assault took place, and her best friend leaving after what took place, and her choosing to stay for hours. No one that was there had anything but positive experiences to share.
Food Shops super chatted $1.99. $1.99 from Food Shops. Dream is the Mr. Girl of child celebrities.
Thank you for the $1.99. Food Shops. Thank you. No one that was there had anything but positive experiences to share until many months later, and I was shocked to hear anything at all. Everyone was already drinking, and in no way was them drinking along with everyone an inappropriate action. Everyone was drinking, and everyone was in and out. Yes, she was not 21. No, it's not a normal thing at all to stop creators at a convention, or anyone for that matter, from drinking because of that. Many of the people I've seen criticize this fact already have very publicly drunk many times with under 21 content creators and not being impartial. Ooh. Oh, shit. You're all drinking with kids too. Oh, shit. I don't get why Chud thinks this is a normal American underage binge drinking culture. What do you mean? Surely Chud says it's very... I would assume Chud would say it's very normal for people underage to drink. I would assume Chud would say that. Because I don't think Chud is retarded. But if he's out there saying that it's not normal for people under the legal drinking age to be drinking with people who are above the legal drinking age. Thinks Americans have different drinking culture. Well, that's because he's been listening to retarded commentary speds for too long. Listen, I get it. Child's catering to his gay commentary. Freaks. And you have to sit there and pretend that it's not totally normal for kids to drink and do shit they probably shouldn't do. He said it was not wise to do as a Minecraft maggot that has a Minecraft text hanging above the head. Well, yeah, it's not wise to do, obviously. There's many things that are wise to do as a Minecraft creator. That's not what this guy's saying instead. I'm engaging with this as it's being relayed to me, okay? As I'm engaging with it as it is being relayed to me. But it is absolutely... I think I started drinking when I was 15. He said, oh, well then you go. What's this retard telling me? He said it's normal and referenced American shows / movies showing it as normal. It is normal. It's like an American trope, isn't it? Is the high schooler sneaking into the college party, you know? What's your general age range? I am about 25. The context I gave is important because that's the time he said it. What? Oh. Well, the culture probably does. The legality probably does shape the culture to some extent, and vice versa, right? I think it's like when people like really? You spoke to a minor on the internet? It's like, I'm sure Chud's even said that, but it's like, dude, you've had Dingo on stream. Like, come on, there are absolutely circumstances where minors, you end up speaking to a minor on the internet. That happens every once in a while. Unfortunately, obviously. Well, I'm so pro. They're like cats, you know. It's like getting a cat to keep away the rats. You want a good few pedophiles to hunt the kids. That's why, yeah, that's why we keep food shops around. Exactly. Spitting. Where were we? Not being impartial. I would agree with George in saying there's a group of content creators that have a very large hatred for me and the Dream Team. The Dream Team. Oh, he thinks he's so sly, doesn't he? I'm not exactly sure why. I have some ideas. It's been going on for over a year now. Dream, stop trying to act like you're being persecuted for white boy swag. You have no swag, bro. Dream is swagless. This motherfucker is swagless, and that is why he was perfectly willing to throw George, not George. Fuck me, the cool one, Wilbur under the bus. It's sickening. He has no swag, and he's trying to play like he does. He is a tryhard. Stupid fucking mask song. Multiple of these content creators will spread total lies about me, take any opportunity they can spread negative rumors. Katie is not one of them, to be clear, but she is friends with many of them, and this is something we discussed in person. I obviously can't say for certain that this has anything to do with what she said, but I can assume it had an impact on the lens she viewed George through. One of these content creators that used to be on the Dream SMP spread that they asked me about the grooming allegations when they happened, and I proceeded to ban them from the Dream SMP's Discord server to hide it. This is completely false. They were never banned from the Discord. They left randomly themselves. I answered every question they had over text and volunteered to answer any more. This lie is incredibly harmful and still has effects to this day. This is one of the many lies or exaggerations they've spread. Jesus, I'm struggling with this. I'm getting through it though, we're managing. Both Katie and her other friends there spoke about how this group in the UK, who Katie is best friends with, despised me and they're not sure why. It's because you're gay, dude. I talk positively about change and hoping they would one day come around. Months after the incident, one of this group tweeted accusing me of bringing 18-year-old girls to a Vidcon to my hotel room to drink. I was shocked at this and immediately looked into what he was talking about. This was 2 months after Vidcon. He was talking about this. I didn't know Katie beforehand. She was already drunk and drinking, and essentially plus oneing with an overage friend of mine. I even suggested they don't come. After this is why I had a conversation with Ghosty, Katie's best friend, who was there, about what he was saying and how it was ridiculous. Where she agreed, I was confused as to why he was saying what he was saying. It was about me, and no one that was there had any idea what he was talking about. Okay. Yeah, I've got AIDS. Katie was avoidant of clarifying anything to them or defending me, and was careful with how she worded things and texted me about it. It was speculated by everyone that was there that night that this is because she was good friends with the UK group, and she didn't want to lose them as friends if she defended me or my character or said anything positive over text. Both Katie and Ghost explained that interactions with me were not representative of how the UK group talks about me. We talked positively. We all talked positively afterward about those nights, and even talked about meeting up again. I had no impression of anyone having negative opinions about anything at all that happened at VidCon, even after directly talking to people and asking specifically about it. I feel terrible for Katie, and I believe she genuinely has extreme feelings about this, regardless of how they formed. I'm sorry that I at all contributed to this negative period of her life. I would hope that she knows that I had absolutely no negative intentions at all. Why is he cucking out here? I really thought she was a great, fun person to be around. I do not feel bad for any of the people masquerading as heroes, though, that they are doing so for personal vendettas. Dude, this is you. This is you. In relation to this or other accusations, including my own. Come on, this is you, dog. Just like you should not trust that creators are always good people, you should not trust that creators' supportive actions are always done with good intentions. Many creators expressed to me behind the scenes that even if the allegations are true, they wouldn't care because they're not a big deal. As some of the people that were later praised for no longer associating with me due to these allegations. Many creators never asked me any questions at all, even sent private messages of support, and then chose to ask me questions the same day I had drama with another creator they were better friends with. Many creators pretended to not be associated with me publicly, making jokes of potential abuse, while privately being associated, but being positive to me. Other creators dropped me as soon as I no longer worked on projects they were heavily invested in, but were perfectly fine playing dumb with it. Dude, he's just fucking crying about how everyone went for him. Drop the fucking victim complex stream. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, everyone just hates me. Everyone's always out to get me. Shut the fuck up, you goofy weirdo. What a fucking victim. Dude, this guy, oh, brother, this guy stinks. Oh, man. They publicly attacked me for far more than ever saying anything negative towards George, even though I had anything negative towards George, even though I had no idea of anything remotely close about the situation being a thing. And they thought that he was a horrible assaulter. It's incredibly obvious to me that this is because they already hated me and not because they care about any potential victim, even if they are close friends. Creators always they think they are. I don't care, dude. Proactive about supporting victims can be vulnerable. Can be using vulnerable people to push their own agendas, whether it's their audience, actual victims, or friends. Support victims because they deserve it, not when it benefits you. I will never stand for abuse. I've shown that on many occasions and with many of my closest friends, even my best friends. I thought this post has been very negative, so I just want to end this positively. Most creators aren't like this. There is a lot of good in the world. There is a lot of kindness and honesty and love. Oh my god. Many creators are fair and kind and truthful. And no one should give up hope on creators in general. It's just like everywhere else in life, there's a balance. The bad is just amplified on social media as everything is under a microscope. I don't think that all is negative. I think having these conversations is important and helpful for everyone, including victims. It's not. It's not at all. And anyone learning and growing. This is all I have to say, as there is no more information to be gathered. And I would like to end the horrible cycle of drama for myself at the moment. What a rat bastard. Yeah, Blood's fucking yapping, dude. This is just crazy. Gay fucking victim narrative yapping. Totally insane. So insane. I hate this guy.